The Budhole Podcast. Welcome to the Budhole. It's your chance. Do your dance at the Budhole.
Here's a hot take.
Guess who's back? Back again. Budhole's back. Tell your friends.
Budhole coming at you.
We just want to say before this thing starts, thank you so much to our loyal listeners, and here you go with another great Budhole podcast. Brought to you by Star Lamar, Brandon, Gage's Rage, and Scott on the Budhole Podcast Network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Budhole. My name is Scott.
It's your boy, Gage's Rage.
Round 2, because some dumbass didn't plug in his mic the first go-round, so you missed about 45 minutes.
I'm Star Lamar. Forgot to plug in my microphone. I don't know the technology shit. Very good.
What's a Google Doc?
What's Google Docs and Word and shit?
When I was a kid, we had to count with our fingers.
Still do.
Wiener.
Golden showers.
And yes, golden showers is what Star's getting today because it's his golden birthday.
It is his golden birthday. Good day for him, I guess, maybe. I mean, it's not as exciting when your golden birthday is 31, but we celebrated hard.
It's not as cool as like a 30 for a golden birthday.
Speaking of
Or
golden
28.
showers and the world and how things are going, if you were Rick Spielman, would you have rather traded a second and a fifth, which is going to be a third, for Yannick Ngakoue, or would you have rather just taken one golden shower from Shad Khan, got Ngakoue, and kept the picks?
Can I do both?
Well, yeah.
I
Of
mean,
course.
Get a golden shower and trade the picks?
who's to say that he didn't get the golden shower and give up the picks?
Maybe that's what got Shad Khan to... It's Shad, right? The
I
owner?
think so.
Shad Khan.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, I know, is his son. He's the one that got in a Twitter beef with Yannick Ngakoue a couple months ago. Yannick was calling him out, telling him, trade me. And Tony Khan was like, dude, we're not getting good offers, and
Shut
like
the hell
you
up.
talking back is not helping your cause at all. Just shut up and let it happen. And then the Jags proceeded to trade him for a second and a fifth, and then cut Fournette. So they clearly don't know what they're doing.
Whoa. Fournette, the guy that's got to get at least 23 receptions for Brandon to win a Budhole bet with myself.
That is true. That Leonard Fournette.
Tough to get 23 receptions when you're not on a football team.
I don't think he's not going to be on a football team for long. The dude rushed for, what, like 1,300 yards last year?
He's
Something
getting
like that?
mega boned by his former franchise, who obviously didn't like him that much. If you look at his numbers, he really was not that efficient.
He had character concerns.
Character concerns and
I think he had 70 grabs, though, last year.
73.
73. Okay.
Which was just
Do you
out
know
of...
that he averaged 5 yards per reception
Do you
last
know,
year? That is, like, abysmally bad for a running
very
back.
bad for running backs. Horrible, like, worst 3 in the league.
Whatever, 73 grabs. He's just got to get 23 this year. I don't give a shit how many yards he gets off that. He could have 23 catches for negative 23 yards, and I'm still going to win that bet. I don't care.
But here's the deal. When you're averaging only 5 yards a catch as a running back, real teams don't give you a shot. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, on the other hand, yeah, they'll throw you 50 more than you need.
You guys, realistically, and I know it's a little bit quick. Usually we do this segment at the end of the show, but we're going to dive into it because it's my Budhole ABC of the week, which we're going to dive into right now. I know
Shit.
it doesn't happen very often, only 3 minutes into the show.
I am not responsible for anything that happens after this moment because I am not prepared.
Okay, well, I'm just
You've
saying.
totally thrown us off.
Budhole ABC, we're moving it to the top because my Budhole ABC of the week is, realistically, where do you guys see Leonard Fournette landing?
Do you have 3 options, or...
Yeah, of course.
Let me
The
look
3
it up
options for Leonard Fournette go as follows.
quick. Super prepared.
Chicago Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots, or, just to be fair, we'll throw a fourth one in there, LA Chargers. Where do you guys see him going of those 4 options?
Is there a...
Is there a fifth
None of
option?
the above?
Like, I take the 5th year.
If you
Can I
want to
franchise
go with
tag?
somebody off the wall, go. I don't care. I'm just throwing out some options, literally off the top of my head.
I think you picked the wrong LA team to begin with.
You think he's going to the Rams,
I think
maybe?
the Rams would be way more likely than the Chargers. I think they're pretty confident in Eckler as a pass catcher.
Wouldn't Eckler and Fournette as a 1-2 punch be pretty filthy, though?
Joshua Kelly's not terrible out of camp.
He's also a rookie.
They're also sleeping on the second-year guy.
Justin Jackson.
He's a pretty good between the tackles runner. Honestly, Chicago seems to make the most sense right away. But I think a team like, I don't know, Pittsburgh or kind of even like the Texans, they might be a dark horse to snag him up.
But they do have one of the largest running back contracts right now with David Johnson.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of tough.
Yeah, but I think a dark horse, quite frankly, to sign him could possibly be Seattle. Seattle's got an injured Chris Carson. They have Rashad Penny, who's going to be out for the first 6 weeks at least of the season.
Pup list.
I know they signed Carlos Hyde, but Fournette's a lot more built for that Seattle offense than Carlos Hyde as far as banging between the tackles. I could see Leonard Fournette going to Seattle on a 1-year prove-it deal if that's what he wants.
I think you guys are dancing around the right division, but I'm going with the Cardinals. They have Kenyon Drake as their only viable running back option down there. Yeah, in a boot again for the second straight year.
Chase Edmonds is pretty good.
They're very high on Chase Edmonds.
In his second year.
I don't know. Fournette adding to that offense to give a little bit of stability at the running game.
I could see it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I thought
be a good one.
The Steelers were a good option as well. Otherwise, it's kind of a dark horse, but maybe Tampa Bay.
Bruce Arians did say he's been a good player, and we'll have to see what happens about trying to get him.
They just drafted Vaughn.
Really?
Ronald Jones hasn't quite been what they're expecting. They were thinking he was going to take a jump this year, but
who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could maybe see him going there, and who wouldn't take a little bit less money to go to play for a team that just got Tom Brady, has some of the best receivers in the game, and
is like
have the potential to make a solid, deep run.
Yeah.
Plus, the talk is in camp, Keyshawn Vaughn is looking not very good. He looks like he has a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Jones is looking pretty good, and I think they do have high hopes for him. But if you could get Fournette to go with Ronald Jones, now you have a real running game. Especially if you think Keyshawn Vaughn's not ready. And Brady doesn't like rookies anyways.
Rojo just doesn't have that mentality. Like, as soon as they brought in Peyton Barber, there was reports that he lost his confidence and he didn't want any competition in the backfield. And I don't know, if you want to be an NFL player, you got to be just the king of the cock. You got to walk the walk, and you can't be second-guessing yourself. And I don't think Tom Brady or Bruce Arians would appreciate a guy like Rojo. And Bruce Arians has his deal with rookies. They don't step on the field until they prove something.
Yeah.
Special teams,
anything.
Practice it. You have to prove it before you get a chance with that guy. So I don't think Keyshawn Vaughn will be a big part of the offense this year. In the future, he definitely could be, but Tampa Bay seems like a pretty good dark horse there.
Another one that's been thrown out there, Buffalo Bills. How do you guys feel about that possibility?
I don't really see it.
That'd be ugly. Too early.
It'd be a
picks.
very gross backfield from a fantasy perspective.
And I feel like they would be confident in their running back situation right now without an injury. You know, Singletary was pretty good last year in his rookie season. Coming into the second year with Zach Moss, a good 1-2 punch.
Doesn't seem like a fit.
No, I don't buy into that one.
And assuming he clears waivers, I don't know if he's going to want to sign with like the Patriots.
No?
I don't know. I mean, you're going to a team that has the most players opting out because of COVID, who just lost their franchise quarterback, who lost a lot of key members on defense. The Patriots probably aren't going to be the Patriots that we've seen for the last 20 years.
And plus, they do have a muddy backfield. They have Damian Harris. They have Sony Michel, who's not looking great. They have James White, who's the obvious pass catcher. They still have Rex Burkhead.
And he's got character issues. If anybody can get that out of him, it's going to be Bill Belichick. But I don't know if that's where he's going to want to go, if he's a free agent.
Players with character issues with Bill don't mix.
No, they haven't, especially lately.
Side question, do you guys think he clears waivers? Do you think someone jumps the gun? And what happens when you claim a player off waivers? You have to give a compensatory pick? Or the team that dropped you gets a compensatory pick?
Not at this point, I don't believe.
I don't think so, but they would have to fulfill his contract.
Yeah, you'd have to pay him his contract.
Okay.
I think some team will snag him off of waivers. I really do. I just don't know who. it's kind of a 50-50 shot right now amongst people believing whether he'll get picked up actually off waivers or if he'll clear waivers and be able to sign wherever he wants.
I don't know how many teams would be willing to jump up to bat for that guy. I mean, he's a super talent. He was a super talented college runner, and if Star was here, he could give us all the LSU fandom. But I don't think he's really done a ton in the NFL.
Well, you look at the two running backs that came out of that draft class that came out kind of... They weren't necessarily the shoe-in 1-2, but McCaffrey and Fournette, they were kind of the shoe-in 1 and 2. And McCaffrey was drafted after Fournette.
2 picks? It was 2 and 4?
No, it was 4, and McCaffrey was later, like 12, maybe 8.
I think he was 8.
So they were a few picks apart, but McCaffrey's been clearly the better player of the two. Fournette's not been a great NFL player for what he was in college. In college, he was an absolute monster.
Yeah, he was dominant.
Yeah. And everybody thought he's going to be, like, hands down one of the best running backs in the league.
Would this be their 4th or 5th year in the league?
They're coming into their
4th
year, yeah.
So was that the
17
Trubisky draft?
I think it was.
Yeah, that was...
was it Trubisky or Deshaun Watson?
I think it's the same one. Both of them.
Oh, yeah, it is the same one. Mahomes, Watson, Trubisky. Yeah. Yep.
Mahomes was 10. Watson was like 12.
Something like that. Trubisky was 1. Fournette was 4.
2?
So
Trubisky was 1.
No, he was 2.
No, they traded up to 2 to get him.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett was 1. Okay.
Trubisky, Solomon Thomas, Fournette, Corey Davis, Jamal Adams, Mike Williams, and McCaffrey at 8. Mahomes went 10. Watson went 12.
That was a pretty good top 12 draft.
There's a lot of players that should have performed. I don't know about... There's a couple flops in there, too.
Well, Miles Garrett is a stud. He's a good player.
Yeah.
A little bit of character issues, good
It's a little bit of a headbanger.
Fournette's functional. He's not great, literally.
Character issues.
All the quarterbacks besides Trubisky. Mahomes has been a home run.
Trubisky was fucking first.
Watson's been a home run.
Trash Bisky was the first quarterback.
Trash Bisky's at least still in the league. Mike Williams is a decent wide receiver.
Now.
Not great, he's decent.
But he's hurt again.
Williams.
Right. Jamal Adams is a stud.
But he's not on the same team. Corey
McCaffrey's
Davis is a bust.
Stud. Corey Davis is a bust. There's only 4 busts in the top 12.
John Ross.
Bust.
Is Solomon Thomas, who was the one who got cut?
Solomon Thomas is already out of the league, ain't he?
I think he is.
Half the league was a fucking bust, man, out of the first 12 picks.
The names sound good, though.
Solomon.
Garrett.
What, dude? I like salmon.
McCaffrey and Patrick Mahomes are really the only...
And Watson at 12 isn't terrible.
I was talking top 10, though.
Oh, yeah.
Really
of the top 10.
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
John
Maybe
Ross.
It wasn't so good.
Look at the
sounded better with
taken there. Holy cow.
3 wide receivers. Corey Davis, Mike Williams, and John Ross.
What a fire draft.
Could you guess their combined yardage together?
Oh, God. It's got to be less than
1,000?
For sure less than what Justin Jefferson's going to get this year.
Oh, shit.
But. What are their combined yards altogether? Ross has attributed, -8? Corey Davis, he does have a few. Corey Davis probably has a good 27.
27 total? It's like 100? No fucking way.
Corey Davis probably does have about 600 or 700 himself.
I will...
In his career or just...
Yeah, in his career. I'm
Yeah.
talking career, right?
Yeah, in their career. I'm going to add
And then
it up
Mike
right
Williams
now.
probably also has like 700 or 800.
Mike Williams has had 2 partially good seasons. So I think he'd be up over 1,000.
We'll say over-under at 2,000 yards for all of them combined.
All 3 of them? Damn, that's tough. I would take the over. Because I think Corey Davis has had like sneaky 300-400s.
Over under 2,000 yards. Gage is taking the over for those 3.
Do you want the under? You want to make this a butthole bet? You set the.
I'm here for it.
Number.
I set the number at 2,000.
Would you do 2,250? This is a Gage bet.
I'd take the over.
Would you go over 2,150?
I already gave you 2,250.
Yes, I would.
You'd go over.
You went down 100.
I like the way Scott negotiates.
20. You go over 20.
Over 2,250 for those 3 for their career.
2,250. Those 3 for their career. You're taking the over. I'll take the under. Butthole bet.
$10.
$10.
Sweet.
Before I acknowledge the winner, could you give me the like the order between Mike Williams, Corey Davis, and John Ross. Like what
Mike
order?
Williams, Corey Davis, John Ross.
I would go Corey Davis, Mike Williams, John Ross.
Okay, so since I said them in order, it was really bad. I should have said it in draft order. It was Mike Williams, Corey Davis, and then John Ross.
Oh, you meant draft order?
No, I meant order who had the most receiving yards.
That's what I went off.
Yeah, we were.
Yep. No,
yeah.
I said them out of draft order. I should have read it Corey Davis, Mike Williams, but I read it the way the winners were.
So
All right.
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams with a total of 1,760 yards.
You're already over it.
No, not quite.
Well,
But if you add Corey Davis 1,009
banger.
and John Ross's 710, you get a total of 3,400.
John Ross had 710.
That's surprising. Well, I guess AJ Green's been banged up so much last couple of years.
Yeah, but so has John Ross.
3,400 and I think it was 79 is what it came out to, or 74.
3,500 almost.
Pretty close.
Still not a lot for three fucking receivers in the top 10.
Antonio,
4 years ago.
That's going into year 4. That's 9 years collective. Antonio Brown did that in 2 years as one player.
Yeah, freaking Megatron almost got.
Did over half of that in 1 year. It's crazy.
Those players are not good. C-Mac and Mahomes are the stars from that draft.
Christian McCaffrey alone has 2,500 receiving yards.
And he's a running back.
Oh, my bad. I did the math wrong. Corey Davis had 1,867, so technically Gage was correct on that. I was looking at Fournette's numbers.
Double bangers. Yeah, so then then it's over like 4,000 yards then.
Yeah, because you add another 800 yards, so 30 or 4,300 roughly.
I was pretty confident in the over. Corey Davis, I think, is a sneaky guy that could be this year's.
Devontae Parker.
Yeah, I think I said that last episode, but
I don't remember. I think you said
did.
something like that, yeah. But
Yeah,
I think
I'll cut him on my fantasy team, and then he'll become really good. So just wait, guys.
Well, you're going to probably have to cut somebody.
I'll have to cut
Because
somebody.
you have to get down to 20.
Yeah, but fuck you, Peyton Barber. See you later, bud.
Everybody's
want
got
the
that
third
trash that they
backup
can
from-
And at this point, you're cutting kickers and defense.
Yep.
So
what?
you don't
Yeah,
have.
you're going to cut kickers and defense.
You-
There's no need for them.
There's no roster positions
There's no
with the
position
COVID
limits.
rules.
We should have to still field the fucking roster. That's some bullshit.
You have to field 20 players, period.
You don't
Everybody's-
have to cut Jay Tuck if you don't want to.
I'm
But
not
if-
cutting J Tuck.
But if you cut him, I'm picking him up.
MVP.
And then
Everybody
back to
has to cut. Everybody has to cut down to 20, but there's no position limits. And being you don't have to start a kicker in defense, why the fuck would you keep them?
Because I have the best in the fucking league.
Then that's
why.
your prerogative. You can if you want, but you don't have to.
I will. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Like, settled?
Bet me I won't.
I bet you will.
Good bet.
I'll mash that. But we got a little off tangent. Yannick Ngakoue, or as Scott calls him,
Yannick.
Yannick Ngakoue.
I think we nailed it.
is now a Minnesota Viking.
Fuck yeah.
That could be potentially 2 top 10 defensive ends on our team under
Top
26
5.
years old.
Top 5.
I don't know if I'd put Yannick top 5 yet.
And the Budhole is going to get to our Yannick Ngakoue to the Minnesota Vikings breakdown right after this short ad break. Now going to Blake so I know where to put the ad insert. Oh, look at that, 18 minutes.
And all this makes the cast because Scott forgets to cut any of this out.
I don't like to edit it out because it's kind of funny to just leave it.
Just free rolling, baby.
All right, we're back at it. We're ready. We're back. We're hot and loaded. Gage's Rage. Give us the breakdown on the Yannick Ngakoue to the Minnesota Vikings trade.
So the Vikings trade a second-round pick in 2021 season,
Yep.
along with what will be a third after the Vikings inevitably win the Super Bowl with this
Easily.
epic pass rush. I think it's a genius move all the way around. We get a stud pass rusher, 1-year prove-it deal. We get,
Tag.
well, they
We get him on the
re-signed
tag.
him.
No.
He signed a 1-year deal this morning.
With us?
Yep, $12
On
million.
a tag, though. He signed the tender. It was just a $12 million tender instead of the tag number, which would have been 17.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get him at a little cheaper price.
Yep, because he wanted to take less to come here.
Also, we get a few less picks or a couple less picks in a draft when there could be potentially no NCAA season.
No film on any of the guys.
I mean, I really don't. I don't see where we lose here. When we're talking about Minkah Fitzpatrick for a first, and Ngakoue for a second, and a third, I think is hell of
Potentially
a
a third.
deal. It's going to be the fucking third, man.
Plus, Ngakoue is only 25.
And if he does some shit well, maybe we move some other guys. We don't bring back Smith, or we don't bring back Harris. Keep this epic pass rush.
One of them is going to be gone next year. And
Harris or Smith will be gone next year for sure.
Without a doubt.
And so that's where I think it gets dicey.
I'll say this. I'm going to steal Star's take, too. He said if you wanted to help an epically bad cornerback, defensive backfield, without adding a stud guy because you can't afford it, how would you do it?
Get a pass rush.
Star stole my take.
What did we just do? We just got a pass rush.
Was it Star's take or your take?
It was my take, but
he
that's
said
all
the
right.
same thing at the bonfire after you left. So.
That's because I told him it like a half hour earlier.
Wait, when did the Yannick Ngakoue trade break? It broke on Sunday morning.
Yeah. I woke up and I didn't believe you. I thought I was still fucking hungover from the weekend before, which I was, but...
So it wasn't at the bonfire. I talked to him that morning about it.
Yeah, and I went out to... They were sitting by the bonfire.
It broke like early
gotcha.
Sunday morning, like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It broke.
I woke up, looked over, I was like, sweet. Rolled back over, went back to bed.
I woke up and Brandon's trying to tell me we got Ngakoue. I'm like, no fucking way.
You're fucking lying to me. I just said last week I didn't want him. He's a head case.
Don't bullshit a bullshitter. No, really, we got him.
He's not a head case.
No, he's not. He was on a team that was bad. They have one player left from their championship run, well, the NFC or AFC championship game. Like one player on their defense left from that.
But they're one play away from going to the Super Bowl.
They're biblically bad, and their draft picks are bad. They do not make very good draft picks. They got Jalen Ramsey and Ngakoue were like the two studs.
They got
I will
Leonard
say,
Fournette.
if they do not add a really, really good pass rusher like Ngakoue, the team is looking pretty desperate at depth. I'm wondering if this may be a sign that Hunter isn't as healthy as we think he is.
I don't think it's that as much as it is them wanting to keep that blueprint defense that they had last year. And in order to have that, you need two good defensive ends.
I'd say it's better than having Everson at the stage of his career right now.
It is.
Definitely, without a doubt.
So
but they were all in on keeping Everson.
They were, and then he signed somewhere else, and a second and a fifth for him, well, second and a third, I think are better. The thing is, what do you think he's going to want to sign a contract for? And if he signs a big contract, which he's going to want big money, what does that do to Daniil, who is outperforming his contract tenfold compared to Joey Bosa getting his, and was it TJ Watt got the big payday, or who was the other D end who got signed big just recently?
I have no idea.
I don't feel like it was TJ Watt.
There was a couple of them. There was two of them that got paid like back to back. I don't know. Just seeing the contracts go out and then Daniil's getting 5 for 70 and Bosa's getting 5 for 135. I don't think their level of play is that different.
Fowler Jr.?
No, Fowler.
$23 million.
Really?
Oh, that's guaranteed money. Sorry.
I can look it up.
Myles
too.
Garrett.
That's who it was. It was Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett was a $125 million contract.
So seeing those two contracts, and Hunter's not that far behind them, play-wise. Stats-wise, he's like pretty much neck and neck with them. He's getting sacks and tackles. He's playing where he's supposed to. So I feel like that's going to cause a restructure to him, which means that Harrison or Ant, one of those two are probably gone. And then you could maybe even consider like trading Barr, because you're going to keep Kendricks, but Barr hasn't really performed up to his level of play.
What the fuck is Daniil getting paid?
$570 is I'm pretty sure what it was. 5 years, $70 million.
That's still a very fair contract for a defensive end.
Yeah,
14 million a year.
72.
Yeah, but he gets that contract, but then what? We sign Ngakoue to a 5 year
65?
I would be
That
willing
won't
to
happen,
bet.
though.
I would be willing to bet you Ngakoue is going to get a contract similar to what Daniil got.
To stay with a Super Bowl contending team like the Minnesota Vikings?
I can see it causing some rifts between the two and some tension between the team because, again, Hunter signed a very good, I mean, it was a good deal at the time, but looking
It's
back
team
at it
friendly.
now, it's compared to the money he could be getting.
I think it's
he's
all about how you
$60
sell
million
it.
short.
It's all about how you sell it. Do you want to have $60 million, which is a pile on top of a mountain? Do you really need that much more money? You would like it. It'd make you feel a lot better. But do you need it? Or do you want to play for the team that loves you, play for the team that has invested in your success, and stick for a team that could potentially run to the Super Bowl?
And two, if he's already taking $6 million less to play here in the first year, you don't think he would take an extra $6 less a year to play here?
Is he taking necessarily 6 less to play here, or 6 less to not play in Jacksonville?
6 less to not play in Jacksonville.
That's more what it is.
But
he
you
would
could
have signed
also
this deal
sell him
just
on the
about
idea
anywhere.
of, okay, you take a 5-year, we'll just say 5 years, $80 million, which is 15 and a half, whatever a year. Still good money. But if depending on how you frame it to him, he's going to be like, okay, yeah, like I'll do that.
Exactly. You just came from the situation where you had no state income tax. You had your paycheck. You were getting big money for a team you didn't want to play for. Do you want to go get big money again for a team you don't want to play for? Or do you want to play for a team that has a chance at winning?
And the Vikings do have a track record of getting guys to take a little less to play here because it's a good organization, good support group around them.
New
as far
facilities.
As, yeah.
I mean,
the only guy that really stuck him was Kirk.
And you're
Pretty
playing
much.
in one of the greatest divisions ever. The NFC North is seen as a
historic division.
Yeah, with the Packers and the Bears.
I do think, though, if you decide, all right, we're going to re-sign Ngakoue, you do risk the chance of you're for sure going to lose Harry or Ant, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe Barr. Although Barr would probably restructure.
When we're talking about these defensive guys, though, they're all guys that we've drafted. And not all of them were first-round guys. A lot of them were second, third, fourth, fifth rounders. You know, there's a lot of...
Danielle, Ant, they're both third-round picks. Or was Ant even later? Ant was later.
Hunter was later.
Hunter was 4, I think.
Yep. And Griffin was a fifth-round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, we have obviously got an eye for the defensive side of the ball.
Kendricks was a second.
Zimmer's gotten in here. I don't have any doubt that they could find some pretty good depth if a few guys want to decide to walk or take a contract somewhere else.
We could. It does set you back a little bit until they develop, but every team has to go through it at some point.
And it's those transition stages you need to complement a weak defensive backfield with an epic pass rush, and that's what the Vikings brought to the table.
So I think the one last thing we should hit on before we move on from the Yannick Ngakoue talk is, does this in any way impact them possibly re-signing Dalvin Cook to a big contract? And are you guys on team re-sign Dalvin Cook anyways, or are you on team let him walk? Now, I mind you, if you're on team let him walk, I would assume you'd still want him to play out this year, which he has no choice but to.
Mm-hmm.
And then you probably also would franchise tag him for next year, because the franchise tag would be worth the money. Franchise tag for him would only be like $9 million for a running back.
I don't think that'd be worth it, honestly. I think I'm team let him walk, and I'd say bench him out of spite and play the other guys. Bring back Rock Thomas and let Madison roll them. No. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm team... Yannick is going to take a team-friendly deal and bench Cook out of spite.
No. Obviously, you roll Cook until the wheels fall off.
Oh, fuck. Breaking news on the Budhole, which will come out tomorrow, so it won't be breaking at this point. Derwin James out 6 to 8 months for the Chargers.
Chargers cornerback?
Yeah, safety.
Hybrid
Arguably
safety.
one of the best safeties in the league.
But he was hurt last year, too.
Hey, it was. That really hurts their fucking chances there.
Well, I mean, they still have a stud secondary.
And Bosa leading the charge, but that... If there's any team that could survive a hit like that, it's definitely the Chargers. They got some depth.
And they're not going anywhere anyways.
Definitely not going to a Super Bowl or anything. Or even a division win.
I was saying that they could have fought for it. They could have stayed healthy.
But
6 to 10 weeks with what?
as far as Dalvin Cook goes, he's kind of the lifeblood of the Vikings offense. Whether you want to admit it or not, last year, most of the offense ran through Dalvin Cook. It starts with Dalvin Cook.
He's the spark plug that we need.
And he is also the most dynamic player on the offense.
Especially
on an offense that had Stephon Diggs last year, Thielen when he was healthy. Dalvin Cook was the most dynamic player on that
And
offense.
Kirk doesn't make those plays that are... He's not Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. You need somebody who's going to be running that ball.
I think Madison has the ability to come in there and do enough of a job to move this offense the right way. I think it's Cook is the main spark plug in a Kubiak offense. I think it's just the running back, though. I don't think it's Cook as the player versus Madison as the player. I think Madison...
Depending on the level of play from the running back.
I think Madison will give us enough of a running back effort.
Chester
the other
Taylor is
option
not
would-
going to be the answer for us.
The other option would
No.
be this, though. You let Cook play this year out and you draft a second-round running back. Let's say you're looking at possibly a Cam Akers or a Jonathan Taylor or a DeAndre Swift. Would you be okay with that in Madison over paying Cook? I would be.
Yes, I
Just
would
draft
too.
a running back in the second period. I don't know who it is, but I know the running back class has a chance to be pretty good this year. I think you can get enough to get by without paying Cook $13 million a year. I just don't see how that's feasible. With all the other contracts, would you rather pay Cook 13 or would you rather pay Ngakoue 16? I'd rather pay Ngakoue 16. He's a defensive end. Would you rather pay Cook 13 or would you rather pay
Harris 13.
Harris 13 for another 2 years? I'd rather keep Harris. Like, I don't see a scenario where Dalvin Cook fits into this team's salary cap unless he's taking... Maybe at 10 you'd want to keep him. And that's assuming he wants to play for 10. But this is the other thing that Cook's going to run into. And Alvin Kamara is smart enough to see it, and he's holding out right now at Saints camp because of it. Next offseason, Derrick Henry is a free agent, or did he re-sign?
He signed.
He just resigned, yeah.
Alvin Kamara is a free agent next offseason. Dalvin
Aaron
Cook
Jones.
could be. Aaron Jones is going to be a free agent. Kareem Hunt's going to be a free agent. There's a lot of
Joe
free
Mixon
agent
could be
running
a free
backs.
agent.
Joe Mixon might be.
Nixon's holding out, and he's
Leonard
got
Fournette.
migraines.
There's a lot of possibilities at running back. That do you really think that Dalvin Cook's going to get 13 on the open market? I don't know.
I think the running back market in a whole, if all these studs go out there, and the only guy who's making big money is C-Mac and David fucking Johnson.
Derrick Henry's making good money too, though.
Yeah, Henry is too.
He signed like 4-year, 52.
But Henry's on what? Like his 5th straight season of at least 1,000 yards, and
And he's never injured.
coming off like a, what do you have, 1,600 last year?
He's an anomaly.
I
He's a
really
beast.
see a scenario where Dalvin Cook comes back to the purple for like 4 years, $36 million, and 29.5 guaranteed. A high guaranteed dollar amount, but not a fat contract.
I don't think, yeah, it has to be less than 10 for them to take him back.
What I want to do with Cook, play out this year. See how it goes. Does he stay healthy? I mean, if he can play 16 games and still put up production and numbers, and we can't get a team-friendly contract, then we tag him. Because by the time that tag is done, he's probably not going to have that many stellar years ahead of him. He'll have some good years, but, I mean, what will he be at that age? 27?
I just think the whole league as a whole is turning away from running backs.
He turns 26 next week.
Jesus.
So 26 next week. He plays for this year. We tag him.
No,
He'll
he
be-
just turned 25.
No, August 10th. It's the...
September 1st.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Man,
So
look at me.
he will be 27 by the time the contract's over. He'll be
Yeah.
27. So he'll be due for one big contract. And you don't mean to tell me at the age of 26 or 27 he would take a 4-year contract for around $40 million with a high guaranteed dollar amount
On a contending team.
on a contending team? He should.
Should he and will he are two different
He
answers.
kind of seems to me like the type of guy, though, that is loyal.
Yeah?
He does. He seems like the type that is grateful for the opportunities the Vikings have given him. He wants to be known as the best more than he wants to be known as the highest paid. He does seem like that. If he was really that big of a diva, he wouldn't be practicing right now because he'd be trying to get a contract. Because if you're a running back and you're injury prone like him, you should be trying to get a contract.
This new agreement that they signed is
Yeah, it hurts him.
fucking you if you don't show up to practice.
No, I get
He'd
that.
pay like $100,000 a week for every week he didn't show up.
But Dalvin Cook's contract this year is like $3.5-4 million.
I know, he hasn't made shit though, so he can't afford to not be paid that money or to pay fines like that.
But if he were to even hold out and get a 3-year extension for $20 million, that's better money than what he's getting paid now.
But what are you losing in the short term to get that?
That's fair. But
You
I'm
know?
just saying Lev Bell held out.
But Lev Bell also was going into his second contract.
Melvin Gordon held out.
Melvin Gordon,
Zeke held out. Not into the season.
yeah. But these
a
are
lot
on
of times
the
as a
old.
running back, though, like
And that's the old agreement, though. This new agreement that they just signed, if you hold out for a week, you have to pay $100,000 in fines or more. It's like $150,000.
That's true. That's fair. I'm just
So
saying,
they
as a
held
running
out
back,
without
you
any
really your only
penalty?
hope as a running back is to hold out and hope the team gives you a decent deal.
And this is why you hear about, like, Joe Mixon right now, I think, is saying he thinks he has migraines.
Yeah, it's because his way of holding
It's his
out
holdout.
without getting fined for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there is ways around it, but if you were to truly do a holdout, you're just screwed.
We'll see. See how it plays out. It'll be interesting.
I'm excited to see what happens. The NFC North should be pretty interesting this year. What do you guys think is the overall outcome? I guess we're all pretty high in the purple, right?
Vikes Super Bowl? What else?
Obviously.
Are you guys ready to just do this damn thing? Should we get to some division breakdowns?
Let's do the division breakdown.
Division breakdowns? Here we go. We'll do division breakdowns right now. Should we do Star Lamar's breakdowns first on the NFC North, or should we do that last?
Might as well do it last.
All right, we'll do it last. We'll start off with the NFC South, and we'll go to Brandon for the NFC South. Brandon, how do you see the NFC South shaping up this year?
Well, there's 4 teams in the NFC South, and they're all going to play each other twice. No,
That's true.
the Buccaneers made splashes, obviously. They signed or drafted Keyshawn Vaughn. They brought back Barrett. I think they tagged him, so they have him back. I think they made a couple other signings on defense, but obviously Tom Brady is the big one. And bringing a veteran in like that, who still has it. I mean, he's not the Tom Brady of 2010, but he still knows how to play the game. He's smart. He's diligent, hardworking, and you know if anybody's going to learn that offense and how to mesh with those players, it's going to be him. Plus, he's getting, well, one familiar target, Gronk coming back,
Yep.
signing with him, and then also Mike Evans and Godwin. They're stellar wide receivers. He's got some of the best talent that he's ever been playing with. Arguably, yeah.
The best, yep.
Yeah, it's at least top 3, I'd say, in his career.
Thought it out.
The Moss season, probably the best. But that was mostly just Moss, talent-wise.
Yeah.
So, I think that alone probably propels them to like a 12-4, maybe 13-3. It's kind of hard to say, but I can see them taking the division either 13-3 or maybe they tie 12-4, but they have the tiebreaker. I think the Saints come in too, and I think they're right around that 11-5, 12-4. Drew Brees coming back, hopefully playing for the whole year, not getting hurt. It's going to help him. Even if he does go down for a few weeks, Taysom Hill has shown that he's competent enough to play. He never started, but I think he can do a decent job.
What about Jameis Winston?
Is he? Oh, he signed with him?
Yeah. Saints backup, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Taysom Hill is good enough to play the starting quarterback at that role. Jameis is here to learn. Buckle up, baby.
That's fair.
So I think that 11-5,
bet.
12-4, I am looking forward to seeing Breeze and Brady play. I think that's going to be fun. 2 games, one each at their own home. I think that's going to be fun. Next, it's tough. I like Teddy. I also like Matty Ice too, but I think the Falcons are probably going to take 3rd place. I think the Panthers are going to stay at the bottom this year. Falcons, they're bringing back a majority of their same players for the most part. They brought in Todd Gurley now. Julio Jones another year. They lost Hooper, but they brought in, who was the...
Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst,
yep.
who was highly touted when he was drafted. They have Calvin Ridley, and then another first-round pick, Laquan motherfucking Treadwell, is playing for him as well. They have all first-round picks.
Lamar's boy.
All first-round picks starting on their offense. So
Quan Treadwell might not make the team.
Is there some steam that he's going to get cut?
I've heard he's been dropping balls, which I know doesn't
Oh,
sound like
shocker.
Quan.
that doesn't sound like him. I could see them going somewhere around 8-8, possibly, and then Panthers, if Teddy surprises us, they might take that 3rd spot, but I can see like a 6-10, 7-9. I think it's going to be a tough division, though.
They just don't have the talented roster. Even if Teddy plays well, they don't have the roster talent to beat Tampa Bay out and the Saints, in my opinion, barring injury.
Defense, I would say no. But offense, I mean, they do have DJ Moore. They have C-Mac. Who's the other guy they drafted along with C-Mac, their other wide receiver?
Samuel?
Yeah, Curtis Samuel, and then they drafted one more this year, a decent wideout, I thought.
But it's still not as dynamic as the Bucs offense or the Saints offense.
And isn't their offensive line still pretty weak?
Yeah, and the Bucs and Saints definitely have better defenses than Carolina.
Without a doubt. Carolina's been dropping like flies on the defensive side.
They got Robbie Anderson in free agency.
Who's did you have the Falcons record at?
I had him at about 8-8. But I think that if Teddy can put it together, I think they're good enough to be competitive. They could possibly take that third spot. I think they might surprise people this year.
Plus, they're playing a last place schedule, which helps them.
New head coach,
Yep.
revamped team. C-Mac is still C-Mac.
Yep, you never know. Gage's Rage, are you ready to break down the NFC West?
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to say,
Oh, sorry.
the only thing I would argue is I think the Falcons are going to top the Saints, make the playoffs finally. I don't know. The Saints have been really good for a long time. And you got a good coach, you got a good quarterback. But Matt Ryan he's solid, and I think he's ready to step up and take the sunshine away from.
Are we all in agreement that the
rest of the
Bucs are
South.
the hands-down favorite to win that division?
I think
Yes.
so.
Even
Yeah.
with all the new parts, and you think that they'll have enough practice and chemistry where they won't stumble too much early on. The Bucs have a tough Week 1 game. They play the Saints Week 1 at 3:30.
At home
I think
or
they
away?
take it.
I think it's at home.
Yeah. That'll
They
be
take it.
That's gonna be a good game
super
right away,
exciting to
though.
watch, yeah.
Because the
Don't they
Vikes
end the
play.
season there, too, with the Saints?
I would hope the bookend would be sick. I'm excited for some NFL football.
Just
God, I'm
football.
excited. The Vikes and Packers play at noon on Sunday, and then you go in from that game to the Saints and
Bucs.
Falcons, or Saints and Bucs. Let's go.
Yeah,
All right,
exciting
Gage's Rage.
stuff.
Let's break it down. NFC
All right.
West.
Over to the West, we have the Cardinals, Rams, Niners, and Seahawks.
Is that how you have it finishing?
No, I just read them off Google because sometimes I forget. But these teams are all pretty competitive. Obviously, the Niners were in the Super Bowl last year. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they don't repeat. I don't think they even win the division. This year, I could see this being one of the tightest divisions, to tell you the truth. But I think the edge would go to the Seahawks. Russell Wilson coming back, doing his thing. So, I forget what his motto was on Twitter, but unlimited.
Yeah, unlimited. The amount of wins that the Seahawks could get this year?
Unlimited. So Russ is going to be dang Russ
Unlimited.
again. He's going to be unlimited. He's showing future son how to throw footballs in the offseason. He's going to be ready to roll.
They were inches away last year from winning that division, and that changes everything.
With the beat-up offense.
Mm-hmm.
So if some of these guys can come back healthy, maybe they sign a guy in the weeds like Devonta Freeman to shore up the running game, or
Antonio
maybe
Brown.
Fournette.
There's a lot of guys still out there that could help him a lot, but I see DK Metcalf coming into his second year pretty solid. Tyler Lockett is always a beast. They got some sort of connection with Russ that's
They brought in Greg Olsen at tight end.
That's not worth mentioning. Will Dissly is the one to watch out for.
I agree.
But, yeah, I think they got rid of one-arm Willie on the defensive side of the ball and get a little bit stronger with age.
Did they cut him?
I don't know. It's like they have to keep him because his twins on the team or something. Brotherly stuff. I try to stay out of it. In second place, I can see the Niners coming in here. Maybe go. I didn't say records. We just care about placement here in the Gage's Rage Zone.
Whatever.
So the Niners come in second. Maybe make the cut on the wild card teams, but it's going to be an interesting year to say the least. A lot of returning players. They got Kittle signed for a long-term deal. Lock down Mostert for a couple more seasons. If they can do more of the same and just run the shit out of the ball and not make Garoppolo throw, they could win some games.
Traded Buckner, drafted Kinlaw. They re-signed Ryquel Armstead to a 5-year deal. I mean, they shored up their defense.
Yep, they brought back their studs.
What was the news with their linebacker, Fred Warner? They took him off the PUP today, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. So
So
injured
he'll be
guys
back.
getting healthy.
He's a good linebacker.
He is.
The only thing against this team is their wide receiver core. Losing
their
Emmanuel
quarterback.
Sanders.
I think their
Debo's
quarterback
hurt.
is-
I heard he was sprinting last week. So
Another one of their
potentially coming
wideouts, I
back.
think, got hurt. Was it Jalen Hurd? No.
Yep, Hurd
Was it Hurd?
So I think the only guy healthy from last year is Pettis.
Bourne.
Bourne. Yep, Pettis
Bourne
is
is-
even hurt.
Yeah.
But
well,
and
Pettis
then
doesn't even count.
what, LaVisca? No, not
Ayuk.
Shenault. Ayuk was
Brandon Ayuk.
banged up last week. So they're really banged up on the wide receiver core. But like I said, if they can just stick to the ground game, throw it to Kittle like 15 times a game, I think they could maybe pull
Run the
off
ball
some
with
wins.
Mostert and Jet.
And
Tevin
just
Coleman.
Run like they did last year. Coming in third, I think the Cardinals are going to step it up with second-year rookie quarterback, and obviously the addition of DeAndre Hopkins is going to help a lot with his progress. And their young defense is pretty solid. I don't want to put records on this because I think all three of these teams could be 7-9 and tie for last because they're just always that kind of division. They're always like down
they
to the
beat
wire.
each other up.
The last 3 weeks, it comes down to
the last game.
divisional games, and it's always a real tight one. So I'll give the Cardinals the edge over the Rams taking last place. But like I said, I think these teams could all be in that 7 to 10 win range, with the Seahawks taking the favorite. The Rams just, I don't know, they have a super talented roster, but they can never put it together. I don't know if it's Goff or McVay's coaching too much or not enough. Or
Sometimes when people like to get too tricky, it just doesn't work out.
Exactly. And Goff has got tons of threats. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods.
Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
They just brought in.
Drafted him.
The
Tyler
tight end,
Higbee,
Tyler
Gerald
Higbee.
Everett.
They got tons of weapons. So
Cam Akers, Malcolm Brown. Who's the other?
Henderson.
Daryl Henderson.
Aaron Donald on the defensive side leading the way.
Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey in the defensive backfield.
Contracts apparently not going well between them.
They're
Ramsey
trying
and
to
the Rams?
restructure.
Well, re-sign him. I think he had a 1-year deal or something like that, or he's playing out his deal that he had left with Jacksonville, maybe.
Okay.
But doesn't sound like it's going good.
Yeah, they got a lot of expensive players there in LA.
They went all in.
Definitely went all in and did not pay off for them. But yeah, that's how I have it. Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals, Rams.
Moving on then to the NFC East, which is brought to you by none other than me, this guy right here.
Boo.
I see the NFC East going as follows. It's pretty easy, really. There's 2 tiers of talent in this division. So the question becomes, do you have Dallas or Philly finishing with a better record? And then do you have New York, the Giants, or do you have the Washington football team? And the way that I have it stacking up, because I'm a sucker for what's on paper, I have Dallas finishing first with a rightful record of 11-5.
You hear that, Shanny? He said it. Now you can trade him Mike Thomas.
Yes, Dallas 11-5 wins the division. Philly comes in 1 game below them at 10-6. Washington goes 5-11, and the New York Giants go 5-11. Washington finishes in third though because they beat the Giants twice.
Damn. I guess the Giants kind of have a horrible defense still, right?
They have a pretty
They
bad
signed
team.
Clowney. They signed him today.
Did they?
Yep.
Ooh.
Then they also
That
just
might be a win and a half right there.
Did they really sign him?
Yeah.
How is that not breaking news?
well, I don't know.
He's been like the biggest free agent for like 2 months, dude.
Or is that not? Was that fake news?
I don't think so.
It had to have been. It would
Did
have.
Brandon get hit by fake news again?
I'm gonna say that you're wrong. I don't think they did, dude.
Oh, I read my thing wrong.
Oh, duh.
Fake news, Brandon.
Can you? Okay, so
What if I'm Clowney?
When
The
you're-
biggest fucking name in free agency wasn't a banner across my phone.
okay, when you're at work and you read fast and it says Giants sign. Oh, I gotta pull it back up.
Oh, the Giants signed clown Matt Judge.
No. It says, God, I lost it. Giants signed number 2 available free agent, and then it says while Jadeveon Clowney remains unsigned. All I saw was Giants signed number 2 available free agent, and I read Jadeveon Clowney. You know what? Sometimes you read
Reading
fast.
is hard.
You take chances. I went to a small school. They didn't teach me to proofread, and here I am.
The public school system
I'm just
Failed
saying,
that you plan to raise your child in.
if Clowney would have been signed by the Giants
there's that.
today,
There's
that would have been breaking news, and it would have been bigger news than the shit that the media was chasing around, whether Riley Reef of mediocre left tackle is going to get cut or not. Jadeveon Clowney would have been bigger news than that.
They did sign Logan Ryan.
Yeah, they did, and you know what?
That's legit.
That was a banner on my phone. I saw that.
Yeah. You saw the other banner, too. It was there. Fuckers.
All right, that's how I have the NFC East shaken out. Dallas in first, Philly coming in behind them, followed by the Washington Football Club, and then the New York Giants.
Football team. Get it right.
So, how would you rank their defenses in the East?
I feel like Dallas has the best defense, followed by part of me wants to say Washington's better than Philly on defense. I don't know if it's going to end up coming out that way, but I think I'm still going to lean that way. I like Washington's defense, especially their front seven, a lot.
They're loaded with first-round picks. So.
And then I would go Philly third and the Giants fourth.
Okay.
Philly's defense is not great, and it's getting older. Their whole team's getting older.
They lost Malcolm Jenkins this year.
Carson Wentz had a question or out of thin air soft tissue injury pop up a couple days ago. Miles Sanders is gimp right now.
Jalen Reagor could be out for a couple months.
Jalen Reagor's out now?
Yeah. He got hurt because Wentz threw a pick in practice and he went to tackle the guy and hurt himself.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I heard it could be a while.
Yep.
Wasn't it just 2 weeks ago you and Star were trying to tell me how great Carson Wentz was and his arm talent's so stellar and...
That hasn't changed.
2 weeks ago? No, dude. I'm still on Team Carson Wentz. I like him a lot as a prospect.
He's got another soft tissue injury, though? Is what you just told me?
Yeah.
I wonder if Dak Prescott has any soft tissue injuries.
You've never had a soft tissue injury before? I know you've had a lot of free time on your hands lately, and I'm sure there's a very soft tissue that gets hurt.
I'm not on the injury list, though.
Well, you don't have to report it.
All right. Let's stay on track. NFC, you got something else to say about the NFC East?
I was going to say I wanted to rip you for taking the Cowboys first, but with the new head coach and with the Eagles being banged up like they always are, I think it's just going to be really hard for them to take first place. I could see the Giants coming in third, though, over the Washington footballers, but...
I would agree. They don't even have a team logo. How can they win a game?
No, they do. It's just Washington.
It's not uploaded on Madden.
Yeah,
plus there's so many...
The reason that I have the Washington team at 5 and beating the Giants, I think Ron Rivera's whole hop on my back and get around me because I have cancer thing is worth 2 or 3 wins.
The cancer wins?
I mean... I don't know. I feel like it's more of a distraction. They got the team name distraction. They have the investigation going on with the NFL distraction. They have Ron Rivera with the cancer distraction. They have such a shitty fucking quarterback distraction. Like, it's one thing after another.
Too many distractions.
Yeah, but they have Scary Terry.
You just love your fantasy team so
much. They have
much.
the beast himself, Adrian Peterson.
Darius Geis is not on roster anymore, Scott.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
I'm fine.
He's not on Jordan Love.
It's fine. They have
Peyton Barber.
Who's the Antonio Gibson, that running back that they drafted? There's actually been a lot of love coming for him from out of camp. There's been a lot of people talking about him. He's looking really good.
God, Nick's got to be happy. Guys got cut.
He's going to be loaded with targets. But
nonetheless, I feel like Washington's defense alone is good enough to keep them in games. Where if Dwayne Haskins can make another step forward and be just, keep the ball within 5 yards of his wide receivers, they could win 5 games.
They could also win 2.
It's possible. All right, with that being said, you guys want to just round robin the NFC North because...
I thought Star was going to take it.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the NFC North.
Star Lamar, what do you think of the NFC North? How's it going to shake out?
Well, obviously the Packers are going to get last with 0 wins.
So, needless to say, you don't like the Packers?
No, not one bit.
Well, that's good.
Would you try to start a fantasy league over again because you accidentally drafted one?
Oh, that does sound like something I'd do.
Does it sound like something you've done before?
Well, maybe there's that. Second to last, I'll take the Lions because they're just doing Detroit things. And I guess third to last would be the Bears.
Would you argue that's second?
No, third.
No, just third to last. And then, fourth to last, I'd take the Vikings.
What do you have the Vikings going, Star?
Just wait, could you clarify something really quick? You have the Vikings as the furthest from last team.
Exactly.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
So the Vikings are going to go 16-0, go fourth from last, and potentially run to the Super Bowl.
Potentially as in what kind of potential? Scary Terry potential or Darius Geis potential?
Somewhere in between.
Okay. That's definitely potential. God, what an elite level breakdown from Star Lamar.
Yeah,
Now, can you
great
do
job,
a really
Star.
quick
Great job.
rookie profile on Justin Jefferson for us, Starlamar? Because I know you're the college brain here.
Justin Jefferson. I don't think he's going to get as many outside targets as Swerve Irvin, but I think he'll be pretty good in the slot.
Oh, there you go. That's good because he played the slot a lot in college. Just an elite college mind.
Look at that. Star Lamar breaking down college teams.
Perfect
Yet again.
job, Star.
I think that wraps up the NFC North. I mean, I don't see a loss on the Vikings' schedule.
No, I agree with Star.
Including-
Yeah, I
Perfect.
think 16-0 and fourth from last is high-level breakdown.
The 5th round pick turns into a 3rd when they win the Super Bowl for Ngakoue.
Fair.
Just saying.
Nailed it.
That's that.
All right, quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back at you with the Budplug of the week. All right, we're back at you. The Budhole's back. We're live. We're local. The Budplug of the week. Brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. When you log on to www.thrivefantasy.com, use the promo code BUD. When you deposit $20 or more, you'll get a $20 match. I should say deposit $20 or more, and they will spot you $20 over at Thrive Fantasy with the promo code BUD. Head on over, download the app in the App Store, go to the website, sign up. It's all about daily fantasy. They have golf, esports, baseball, basketball, football's coming up. They'll have football bets. Go do that. As far as the Bud Plug of the week, there's 3 of them actually. With Fournette getting shipped out, I feel like all 3 running backs that are still in Jacksonville, I should say the 2 running backs, Armstead and Thompson, both of their draft stocks go way up. Ryquel Armstead's going to for sure be the every down back now, minus passing downs, and Chris Thompson's a pretty decent running back with an offensive coordinator that was his head coach in Washington. Thompson's a good player when he's healthy. He does get banged up. With that being said, I feel like Fournette, based on his ADP, is going to drop. Fournette's still, I think, a good buy, especially depending on where he lands. If he lands with a contender, I think he has a real chance. Do you guys disagree, agree, indifferent on my Bud Plug of the week?
I like the first part, really don't like the second part.
Because you don't want to lose your bet.
No, dude, it was obvious Fournette was not a good player. He was very inefficient. They brought in Chris Thompson, who they love from Washington, and I think they were looking at camp going, well, Ryquel isn't even here. They were getting better running power with Thompson and Ozibwe. They drafted a guy.
Ozubwa or something like that, yeah.
And they're looking at these guys going, damn, we're getting the same stuff Fournette's giving us for a lot less.
And a lot less headache.
Ship him the hell out of there. Get rid
It's
of
like Ozubwe or something is the rookie.
Yeah.
get rid of the character flaws.
Which he might be worth a pickup in a dynasty league.
I think you were beating around the bush because you didn't want the scent to be too strong on your boy.
Hey, man, I am not about hiding bud plugs from people. I gave last week N'Keal Harry and Cam Newton. I feel like that's a good stack. That's one I would draft, but I also feel like I should not hide it from the listeners.
I think who really improves the most from the Fournette move is DJ Chark, though. I think they're going to be absolutely abysmal. There's nothing positive about this team, and there is going to be a ton of garbage Minshew time.
I feel like Chris Thompson actually has real value now. Like, I could make an argument for Chris Thompson over David Montgomery.
Montgomery's banged up right now, too, though.
Right, but assuming that
That's
they're
why
both
he would
healthy,
argue it.
I could definitely make an argument for Thompson over Cohen.
Cohen had over 100 targets last year, too.
Yeah, I don't think Thompson's got the health history to take
If Thompson
over Cohen.
if Thompson plays, we'll even say 13, 14 games this year, I think he's a very, very valuable pick where he's being picked at. He's being picked in like the 12th round.
What do you see the odds that he plays over 13 games are?
Quite honestly, I think it's 50-50. I think he has a shot.
50-50 is like a snowball's chance in hell shot.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah, that's I would much rather take a C-Mac level of consistency versus Chris Thompson.
You're talking about where you're getting drafted, though.
Yes, I understand. So Cohen is probably being drafted around the 6th or 7th round.
I'll tell you right now. Give me a second.
And I don't think that's going to be updated on Chris Thompson's. I would expect him to be going many rounds
It's
higher.
getting regularly updated. So as fantasy drafts are going, it's getting
Updating
updated.
it.
But it will take about a week or so to really get him to where he should be getting drafted at, for sure. we'll call it a half PPR league, or do you want to go full PPR?
Full PPR. The standard PPR league.
Standard scoring PPR.
We're looking up Cohen.
Ryquel, running back, Chicago Bears.
By the way, Leonard Fournette right now is the 15th running back off the board in standard PPR leagues, so he's going to definitely drop some.
Without a doubt.
For the time being, until he finds a home. Tariq Cohen is number 32 running back off the board right now, 85 overall.
So that's about the 7th round. Beginning of the 8th.
84 is 7.
Yeah. So 85 would be the beginning of the 8.1.
Chris Thompson is 247 overall, so he's not even being drafted.
Yeah. I would expect that to shoot up to...
So
I mean,
let's just play it by ear here and say that Chris Thompson goes up to around the Antonio Gibson and Alexander Madison area, right? 120.
Yeah, 11th,
would put him in the
round.
12th, 13th round.
Roughly.
I think Chris
That'd be
Thompson in the 12th or 13th is a good pickup, especially being he's going to be functional for the first however many weeks till he gets hurt. So even if you only get 3 or 4 weeks out of the guy, it's going to be a good 3-4 weeks. If you end up getting 8, 9, 10,
even better.
I think
he's a bud plug. He's definitely a bud plug.
The weeks he's in, he'll be at least an RB2. I don't have the confidence to invest in him because I don't think it'll be more than half the season.
You got to realize, though, you'd be drafting him against the likes of Darrell Henderson. Would you rather have Darrell Henderson or Chris Thompson?
Chris Thompson.
Chris Thompson has a more
Darrell Henderson.
Chris Thompson has a much more clear-cut path to touches.
It's a team that's going to be playing from behind without a strong run game. That's going to have a lot of long third downs. Chris Thompson's going to get some action.
Darrell Henderson was a stud touchdown guy last year, and he's the one returning from that Rams backfield.
That's fine.
How many touchdowns do you think Henderson will get this year?
I would put him at double digits.
You think he gets over 10?
You want to bet? You want to butthole bet that?
I'd bet
you
it
owe
too.
me 10, so we could...
I already paid you $10.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. $10?
10, but...
Butthole bet, Darrell Henderson.
Throw me in on it.
10 and over. Butthole bet. Brandon, log it.
I'll log it.
Darrell Henderson's going to have over 10,
Come
10
on,
or more.
baby!
Double digit.
Over 10.
Double digit.
Yep, double digit.
Would you rather have Chris Thompson or would you rather have Duke Johnson?
That is where I'll take Chris.
Chris Thompson or Boston Scott?
I will take Chris there as well.
Chris Thompson or Nyheim Hines?
Ooh. I will take Chris. But Nyheim... That's a toss. That's a toss.
Chris Thompson or Chase Edmonds?
I'll take Chase with the Drake news.
Chris Thompson or Latavius Murray?
Ooh. That's another... Who's the third back behind Latavius? Do they have anyone? It used to be Boston Scott.
No, Boston Scott's in Philly.
Yeah.
I
can't think of who else they have.
It's nobody good.
If Kamara's holding out, I think I'd take Murray.
I don't know who the hell New Orleans has for their third running back, to be honest.
Yeah, I've no idea.
Can I get my bud plug of the week?
Ooh.
Yeah, go. If you got a bud plug, throw it out there.
My bud plug of the week is third string wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, Greg Ward. With Jalen Reagor being banged up, Deshaun Jackson likely going to get banged up again. That's just his MO. And Alshon Jeffrey not playing ever, right? For the most part. I like Greg Ward. He's been showing up in practice from things I've heard around the league. He's been catching balls, catching touchdowns. A reporter asked him about a touchdown he had. He responded back, he's like, which one? There was a couple this practice.
Ooh.
I think Greg Ward is a sneaky pick in your fantasy leagues.
Really came on hot at the end of last year, too.
Yep.
So, rolling into the season with some chemistry.
Greg Ward is the type of guy you can pick up at the end of any draft.
Pretty much.
I think the sneaky pick is Goddard from that offense, to tell you the truth. I said it before, I'll say it again. Ertz is losing a step, and Goddard is coming into his own. And last year, I did some research on the Phillies.
So Gage's sneaky pick is Dallas Goedert, which is pick 148 overall, so you're looking at around 9?
Pick round 12. 12-team league. 12th round would be 144-ish.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like it.
But Goddard is a guy I think
he's going to be sneaky this year too.
if he excels,
But-
I think he leads the team in targets. Last year he was second, only behind Ertz by about 30.
You see how he got knocked out by that Florida fan, though. I don't know if I like that.
He doesn't have the chin for your team.
No, he can't take one on the chin. We've seen that.
Pussy.
Well, should we do the Budhole 5 and then wrap up this cast
Let's
for
do
the
the
week?
Budhole 5 and wrap it
the
up.
next time you hear us, we're going to be 3 days away from the football season, which is 3 times the size of little Gage.
It's also 3 times the number of hairs on Scott and Ty's head combined.
3 times 0, 0, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's simple math.
Oh, fuck you, man. What the fuck, bro? I'm 4th from last.
All right. Budhole 5. We all know how to play,
God,
but I'll
Star's
explain the
salty
rules
tonight.
anyway. You have 30 seconds
35.
to name the top 5 answers in whatever category I give you. You get a point for each answer. If there's a tie, we'll go into 6 through 10. And if there's a tie after that, we are going to go back and forth to whoever can name number 11. Time starts after I finish reading the first question. I want the top 5 leaders for running backs, well, I suppose all NFL, in rushing yards for the 2019 season. The top 5 leaders in rushing yards for the 2019 season. This would be a great time to, insert a sponsor here. Whoever is out there listening and wants to sponsor a great segment. Now would be 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Gage stopped at 15, so I know he had 5 answers down.
Do have 5 answers.
All right.
We'll go with Scott first.
Top 5 leaders for running backs in rushing yards for 2019.
Top 5 leaders in rushing yards, but yeah.
I'm typing in 2019. I had Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson, Dalvin Cook. You like that or no?
I know you don't have the leader, so I do like that.
That's true. He doesn't have the leader.
I think the leader was Henry, who was
Okay.
on my list, with C-Mac, Aaron Jones, Cook, and Ezekiel Elliott.
We do have a winner today.
It's Gage's Rage.
Gage's Rage took it
Fuck
home
yeah.
with 3.
Back to the grind.
He got Derrick Henry, who was the leader, 1,540 yards. Christian McCaffrey came in 3rd with 1,387. And Elliott came in 4th with 1,357.
Dang.
Second place, none other than Nicholas Chubb.
I forgot about him.
Just C. Hare, under 1,500 yards.
Wow.
And Chris Carson came in 5th. Scott did get him, 1,230.
That was your only...
He had McCaffrey and Carson. You guys want to take a guess at who's number 6?
Cook.
Fournette.
We'll go back and forth.
Fuck, I was not prepared for this. Aaron Jones?
No.
Mostert.
I will add it is leading rushers of 2019.
Deebo Samuel.
Lamar Jackson.
Deebo Samuel?
Lamar Jackson.
What is... Jesus.
That's a sneak. That would have been sneaky if we went to OT. Fucking A.
Well, we would have went OT at 10, but...
He had like 200 yards rushing. It wasn't bad.
Oh, let's... I'm trying to find where he's at in this list. He came in 91st.
Top 100, and he's a wideout. That's not bad.
It's not great either. All right, boys, ready to wrap this thing up and get on to the next cast, which is the Inception Budhole movie review.
Hell yeah.
Gage, hit it with the rap.
Thanks for listening to another epic episode of the Official Budhole Podcast. Check us out on all the social medias.
Stay safe and go jerk off.
Bye-bye.
Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Budhole. Check us out on Twitter as well, @OfficialBudhole, Instagram, @OfficialBudhole, TikTok, @OfficialBudhole. And if you have questions or comments, email us at officialbudhole@gmail.com. Also, make sure to check out our Teespring website where we have sweatshirts and t-shirts, and our website itself where we post blogs and whatnot. Both of the links will be posted in our description for the episode. Please leave a rating on whichever platform you're listening on, as well as make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can continue to bring you the great content we create, as well as make it even better for the future. We love you all. Peace out.